listening to a podcast or watching TV, maybe listening to noises of nature or whatever.
Listening to noises.
Yeah. Like just rat traps closing.
Yes.
For an hour. This week on Tank Media Network, we're discussing everything to do with working out. And by everything to do with working out, I mean the only thing that matters, and that is, what are you taking in while you're working out? What kind of media are you consuming when you're working out? That's the whole video, just going to do it like that.
What kind of media are you sticking?
Keith, how you doing this week?
I'm doing well. Have I been to the gym this week? Only time will tell, because this is in the future.
That's
where
very
this
true.
video comes out.
Well, I try to go in the evenings back at the apartment, but lately I've been pretty slack.
Yeah.
Had a headache one night, and the next night I was just too busy.
Those headaches
drinking a milkshake.
Too busy. I was too busy with a 3-course dinner of cheese fries, burgers, and a couple of dogs.
But
sucking on chili dog.
But the thing is, when it comes to working out, there's so many different ways. Like you can have your leg days.
How many ways?
Your arm ways.
Like 1.
You can have your cardio.
2.
You can work out your neck muscles. You can work out your earlobes. You can work out just about anything you can do.
You're right.
So this week we're going to be talking about what are you consuming while you're working out, and not food. Right. Not drink.
We're not talking about different protein shakes.
But
that's something we don't know.
What are the voices in your head while you're working out? I thought about it, and I thought that when it comes to working out, you've got 3 options. Okay. Either you fall into the category where you got like some music going, or you're in the category of other media, which I would put like listening to a podcast or watching TV. Maybe listening to noises of nature or whatever.
Listening to noises.
Yeah. Like just rat traps closing.
Yes.
For an hour. Like on whales. Like you'd mix the two.
Oh.
Or you like nothing. Like I know people that they just like to go to the gym and they don't want earbuds or to watch something. They'll just listen to other people in there. Or they just like to be outside and they just like to hear all the stuff around them. Just
the sweet, soothing sound of your own breath.
So what category do you think you fall into, Keith?
I am an audio media man. I've once, back when I was in high school and I used to run on the treadmill and stuff at my mom's house, there was a TV in the room where the treadmill was. I never was good at watching television while running. Up until the last several months, I was just a music man. But now, I'm kind of a podcast boy.
Really?
Yeah. I've demoted myself from man to boy, but I've changed media as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to be a music fellow. Are you a music guy?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if you wanted me to explain, like, what about the music that makes it good workout music for myself, or?
Well, I was actually, we'll cross that bridge in a second.
Okay. But yeah, I used to be a music man. Now I'm a podcast boy.
Because I was going to explain what makes a good playlist, but you can explain what makes a good podcast to listen to for you. But yeah, I'm a music person. I like to get in there and I have some music going. But I like to build to have a playlist. Like I don't believe in just turning the master shuffle on, right, and seeing what comes. And I felt you'd be the same way with your podcast.
That's the way noobs and chumps do it.
Like for you can't just. I couldn't just say, hey, here's a podcast, and you sit down and they chit chat about college football for an hour. Like I think you have.
I would run
right a playlist
right through the door of the gym and into the nearest spike field.
So do you enjoy? Because I know you listen from like audio sermons to like the mystery like podcasts to just you enjoy podcasts to get information. So do you think you're more of you want information or entertainment?
Yes, you're right. Because I do listen to many different types of podcasts. I listen to informative podcasts, motivational podcasts. I also listen to ones that are meant to entertain. Mm-hmm. The final one, the latter, it would be the one that I use for running. Like I listen to a couple that one Stuff You Should Know, very popular podcast, very humorous, but it's not good for running because it's just they're giving me information. Mm-hmm. One podcast that has been very good for my running. I finished it though, and I'm up to date, so I can't unless I only run on Thursdays, or every other Thursday or something. I can't really get the I can't really listen to this one very much anymore. I finished it, but that's the Adventure Zone, and that's the podcast that I've been listening to. Are these three brothers, Justin, Travis, and and Griffin McElroy and their father Clint all played Dungeons and Dragons together. It started out as just very humorous and became a very story-driven thing. So the entertainment value, me wanting to know what happens next, kept me from thinking about like my body wanting to die, and I'm able to run a lot farther because my brain is also engaged. I'm not just thinking about how tired I am. Mm-hmm. So podcasts like that, usually like narrative-based podcasts, are really good. Mm-hmm. So that's really what makes a good podcast. As far as it's subjective. It may not work for you, but it works for me.
Yeah, I think because this past week I made an updated playlist for working out, and that's one thing I've realized is that when it comes to playlists, I like to be very particular with them. Like when if I'm driving home, I build a playlist like a concert where it kicks off with a very energetic song. Then you've got like a couple of like other like little energetic songs. Right. You've got like those 3 like kind of sad songs. Then you like liven it back up. Then you have like your finale. But then I tack on another 5 because there's always an encore.
Yeah.
So I just way too much like into the podcast.
I don't know whether I'm impressed or just I'm in awe of you spending the time to do that because that would take me forever to do.
Now I think that one thing I haven't done is done it with a particular artist, because as I said that, I think that would be more challenging because I would only be able to work with maybe 100 songs, whereas now I'm able to go through 1,000, 2,000 songs and really piece them all together.
I do apologize for my yawning.
But
I'm not bored.
But for right now, I think the 3 that I look for is usually it's something like heavy, like if there's yelling or screaming in it.
Yeah. So you can run away from whatever.
Yes, so it'll scare me. Because I was listening to some more Showbread this week, and there's just a couple of songs that I had forgotten about theirs. And I listened and I was like, wow, these are really good because they just they get me going with running.
Yeah.
Just get me going. Then I like stuff that has a fast tempo. Just
sure.
It can be regular music. I guess maybe alternative or punk falls into that. Most of that stuff's pretty quick.
Yeah. You want to? I can't imagine anyone saying I like to run to very slow songs for when I'm exercising, just because you want maybe something to keep your feet on beat with.
But now that's the last one. I like stuff with quality lyrics. So there's very slow stuff that I listen to.
Yeah.
While I'm running, because the other day I was showing Jordan my playlist, and she was like, "That's not a workout song." I was like, "Yeah, it is." She's like, "No, it's not." I was like, "Do you see what they're talking about?" And she was like, "They're not talking about working out, and they're not even speaking fast."
Yeah.
And so I've realized the other day I was listening to one, and I was like, "It's called Bicycle Rider by Starflyer 59." And I was on the bicycle in there. But it was really fitting that it came on.
Of course.
But it was just this song about him growing up and all of his all of his friends leaving and the family separating and doing what they had to do to was best for their family or their careers. And I just sat there and I just started thinking man, that's crazy in life how all that stuff happens. And so I'm just sitting there and then I look down and I've ran I haven't ran, but I've done 3 miles on a bicycle, and just thinking, oh wow, I didn't even realize that I was pedaling. I'm just thinking about life. And
that's interesting though, because that works for me too. If it's a lot of good and thoughtful lyrics. I think maybe that comes from the way I'm entertained by the narratively based podcast too. Is if something is engaging my mind, I'm not thinking about how tired I am. Mm-hmm. Mia's doing that barky bark. That's okay. So what else we got for this vid? Little exercise boy.
I think that was all I had, unless you think of another. I think we're about to finish on time, unless you want to come with another 4 minutes.
No.
Normally that's what happens, is that...
Oh, are you saying that it's me that comes up with the extra 4 minutes?
Normally it is.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Maybe I'll find a different co-host.
Maybe you should.
Or maybe you'll find, or maybe you'll fire me. All right. This has been an enjoyable show. I hope you agree. please comment the criteria that you use for your exercise things. We will go exercise with the puppy now. We will see you in the next Tank Talk.